Take a look at this exam paper. If you're sitting for the IELTS Speaking Part 2, there's a high chance you'll be handed a prompt exactly like this. Describe a perfect job you would like to have in the future. To fill the required 2 minutes without stumbling, we are going to divide your response into 4 sequential blocks: introduction, description, experience, and feeling. This timeline organizes your response into manageable stages. Before we start constructing your answer, you need to make a decision. Pick one highly specific profession, like a renewable energy engineer or a clinical psychologist, and grab a notebook. The most common trap test takers fall into is memorizing long lists of advanced vocabulary without knowing where to actually place those words when the clock starts ticking. By mapping specific high-level vocabulary words directly into designated slots within our 4-part framework, you build a cohesive narrative that holds up under the pressure of the exam room. Step 1 is the introduction. Your immediate goal here is to clearly name the role you've chosen and pinpoint the moment you became interested in it. This document represents your first paragraph. Notice these distinct blank spaces. This is where you will insert your target job title and the reason you first wanted to pursue it, such as seeing a documentary or completing an internship. To elevate this opening, we are going to use our first piece of advanced vocabulary: career prospects. Career prospects refers to the mathematical probability of professional success and the opportunities for advancement within a given field. Write that phrase down and slot it into your introduction template to explain the long-term potential of this path. Locking in a clear origin story and immediately deploying career prospects signals high-level language proficiency to the examiner within the first 20 seconds of your speech. Next, we move to the description paragraph. This section is where you justify why this chosen job is the ideal fit for you. Looking at the template for paragraph 2, you can see new blank spaces. These are designated for you to list the skills required for the job and the personal benefits it provides. To make those benefits stand out, use contrast. Look at this endless line of identical boxes on a conveyor belt. We can describe a standard, boring 9-to-5 job as mundane or repetitive. Once you've established that repetitive baseline, you introduce its opposite. You explain that your dream job will allow you to harness your potential, meaning you'll use your natural abilities to their fullest. Then, to balance your personal passion with financial reality, you drop in the phrase lucrative salary to describe high financial compensation. Comparing the repetitive aspects of standard employment with the fulfilling and lucrative benefits of your dream job creates a persuasive logical argument. Now we enter the experience section. Here, you describe a realistic, hypothetical daily routine for your chosen profession. On our third template, the focus shifts. These blank spaces are reserved for you to describe the physical workplace setting and the specific collaborative tasks you would perform. To describe a modern, active workspace, like a startup or a busy laboratory, use the phrase fast-paced, dynamic environment. Next, define the colleagues you want to work with by calling them like-minded individuals, people who share your tastes, interests, and professional drive. Finally, to show you are already taking action toward this goal, use the phrase hone my skills to describe how you are sharpening your abilities through study or practice. Shifting your speech from abstract descriptions to concrete daily operational details proves you have the language skills to handle real-world scenarios. For our final section, we move to the feeling paragraph. This serves as the emotional reflection evaluators look for to close out a speech. Here is your final text template. These remaining blank spaces are where you will conclude with the emotional results of this career path. The primary psychological targets here are job satisfaction and personal fulfillment, the happiness that comes from doing work you value. You follow that with a sense of accomplishment, establishing the reward that arrives alongside financial independence. You must also acknowledge the reality of the work. Seeing this figure pushing a massive boulder up an incline, describe the difficulty of your career path as strenuous, meaning it requires significant effort. Ending your speech on a note of determined, realistic reflection leaves a lasting impression on the evaluator as your time runs out. Look at the complete structure we've built. Here is your fully assembled 4-paragraph monologue, combining the introduction, description, experience, and feeling templates into one unified document. Notice the strategic placement of all 10 advanced vocabulary phrases, distributed so they flow naturally throughout the narrative. Your next step is to take your notebook, fill in your specific job details, and immediately read your personalized script out loud. Before you start speaking, set an alarm for exactly 2 minutes. You need to simulate the timing of the actual testing environment. Having a plan on paper is the first step, but success on the exam depends on your ability to deliver these lines naturally. Your performance becomes reliable only once you've rehearsed it under the same time constraints you'll face during the test.